Ready? Go. 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 Oi, 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 oi. More energy, more power. Oi. Bloody hell, mate. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, oi, oi. Oi, mind that. Oi, yeah. More energy, more power. Oi, oi, that was mad. More passion. Let me see that footwork. Give it to them. More passion, more energy. Oi.
I don't know, whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
No, there is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
Okay, but
Okay.
yeah, I can't read it. There's no words on it.
Okay. Ready? Sure.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out.
Sting is going to do. It's a video. Sting video.
What is
for credits?
I don't know what that means. To play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
Okay. In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a. I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah! Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!
We obviously didn't communicate clearly. We had to discuss your surrender, not mine.
Tú eres tan romántico molestando con una pipa. Me preguntas si te quiero. Yo te digo que no estoy lista y no quiero comenzar. No hay nada que pensar. Yo te dejaré atrás. Mientras gano más y más. No estás en mi nivel y tú no eres obligación. No estás motivada y tú aburres mi corazón. Eres un idiota sin inteligencia y razón. Entonces déjame tranquila mientras escriba tu canción. Tú eres tan romántico molestando una vipa. Me preguntas si te quiero. Yo te digo que no estoy lista y no quiero comenzar. No hay nada que pensar. Yo te dejaré atrás. Mientras gano más y más. No estás en mi nivel y tú no eres obligación. No estás motivado. Corazón. Eres un idiota sin inteligencia y razón. Entonces déjame tranquila mientras escriba tu canción. Estoy aquí a disfrutar. Estoy aquí pero quiero gozar. Si quieres a mí pero vamos a bailar. Cintura a cintura papi tra tra tra. Bailando, gozando y me gusta tomar. Pero no quiero pendejos que no quieren respetar. Déjame pendejo papi ya no más. Déjame pendejo papi ya no más. Estoy aquí a disfrutar. Estoy aquí pero quiero gozar. Si quieres a mí pero vamos a bailar. Cintura a cintura papi tra tra tra. Bailando, gozando y me gusta tomar. Pero no quiero pendejos que no quieren respetar. Déjame pendejo papi ya no más. Déjame pendejo papi ya no más.
What is up, everybody? It is your boy Luis Martinez, aka Big Cheap Burrito, live and alive on a Wednesday. Woo! We had the show live and direct from San Diego, California, the Burrito Lounge. Equal parts Chula Vista and San Diego. What is up, Sofia Carrillo, the co-host of
We're back, man. Oh, nothing much. Nothing much. Definitely nothing has occurred.
Nothing is happening whatsoever.
No, nothing. Do you nothing at all?
Oh, is it official?
It's official. Papers is signed and things are happening. However, yeah, I did choose a house. It feels like I chose a house in Game of Thrones, It's weird.
That's
it's
sorted.
Crazy. Yeah, I got sorted in Harry Potter. It's wild. I am in the transportation department, San Diego at work, baby. What's up? Yeah, man, they gave me a bunch of merch. It's kind of cool.
Nice.
So that's official. My first official day was Monday. I started training last week. But yeah, so listen though, I'm a turncloak. So I hold, knock on wood, I do hold the possibility of moving around open. So we're still waiting to hear back from a couple of opportunities. But
so you had to grab the bird in hand.
Good deal. It was a good deal, and I was like, I'm gonna take it. And if a better one happens. But for now, yeah.
Do they know that?
No, they don't. I hope nobody be watching. Turn this off. Don't show it to my supervisor. Everybody knows that in the city, as in everyone does it. Literally, the guy who moved from my position, he was promoted, he just got something better. Everyone's constantly always interviewing because it's internal. So it is a little Game of Thronesy, but that's why they want to keep you happy, and that's why that's why they gave me a nice offer.
What's up, everybody? What's up, Carlito over on Instagram joining us? What's up, people on YouTube, Facebook, over on Twitch? We're live in the live. Sophia's got a job. Sophia got a job.
Sadly. Oh, I know. I was so enjoying being a temporary employee. That came with its perks. I could travel. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I feel like I can chill now and get back to being creative because I have a steady, nice income. How are you doing, Lou? Huh? Yeah, I got a government job. I got benefits. I got a pension. What? I got loan forgiveness? What? Yeah, it's
That's
great.
good.
They do a lot of good things. Yeah, that's this
Carlito
is listen.
says, congrats, Sophia.
Thank you.
Over on the Instagram.
Oh man, I wish I could see the Instagrams. So if you guys are commenting on Instagram, we cannot see them on our little thing unless you're on YouTube, Twitch, or not even Facebook, huh? Facebook as well.
Facebook, YouTube. Well. For some reason, Instagram comments can't get pulled up.
Yeah, but
I'll share the link.
Lou will let me know. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the Instagram feed over here, so we can keep an eye on the Instagram family as they comment. For me, things are trending in the right direction, I want to say.
You're busy.
Yeah, I'm getting towards the end of my physical therapy. So as everybody knew, spoiler alert, if you guys are going back and watching the episode, I fell in the hole and almost died, and I've had to have physical therapy. I wasn't really walking too good or doing anything too good for a while, but now I'm feeling a lot more like myself. I still have a lot of scarring, I still have some residual pain, so I don't want to make it seem like I'm 100%, but I'm able to at least function as a human a little bit better. Been piercing a lot, stabbing people for fun and profit.
Jealous.
A lot of tattooing, stuff like that. So, and then Friday the 13th is in 2 days.
Yeah.
It'll be my first one as an actual tattoo artist and piercer.
But you said you're not gonna tattoo?
Oh, I'll have to tattoo. It's going to be a busy day. I'll have to tattoo, but I'll be primarily running the shop. Sign, because we still have to do a lot of signing people up and I'll be sort of running the show, making, stacking people's tattoos, getting all the stuff ready for them. And probably somebody needs to be sort of piercing. So I'll be probably doing a lot of piercing. Plus, piercings are fast.
Yeah.
It's like, as opposed to having to sit down, set up your machine, and you know what I mean? It's a
Do
little
the
bit.
whole process. Yeah.
Although most of it will be small, quick, smaller size tattoos, because it's Friday the 13th. Although sometimes people come in on Friday the 13th and they want big tattoos, and we're like, sure.
Yeah.
We're gonna be doing. Go ahead.
I said me, kind of.
You kind of know you. I mean, I saw the one. You're not getting small tattoos. You're getting some nice ones.
Yeah, I'm getting some nice ones. I mean, it's not big. It's not. I mean, it's gonna be on my arm. I'm a teeny girl, so it's not gonna be huge, but it's gonna be bigger than a small Friday the 13th tattoo. I want that one, and yeah, a small one for the sticker arm. Why not?
Sorry, my dog.
So I want to get 2.
I saw that you were getting 2. I saw it. Listen, you gotta celebrate your new job.
Yep, exactly. I was like, I'm gonna get tattoos.
Well, no,
yeah.
Look at you, it's doing what a person with a steady financial situation would do.
Yeah. What else can we do besides spend our money?
Yeah, you can
yeah, no, but I mean, to be fair, Barb's just dropped The Flash, and one of her pieces I really liked, and I was like, oh, that one. Like, I immediately was like, that's the one. I want that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Actually,
let me give me a second here, because
pimp out the Flash.
Might as well pimp out the Flash. And is anybody in San Diego?
I don't know what happened to that one though, because it wasn't part of the Friday. It was another Flash.
No, she had another, because she basically wanted to do some other stuff on special. And so she was like, oh, I want to do other stuff. Barb's Flash. Barb's Flash. Barb's Charlie Daddy joining us over on Instagram.
Barb's just flashing everyone.
Let me pull this up. Where's the picture of the Flash?
Give me the Barb's Flash.
Let me see. Is this the one you're doing?
Let's see. It's like a little heart with the lotus on it. Pretty dope. Let's see. Yes, sir. I want the middle top.
The middle top one. That one's a nice one. Where's that one going?
In the arm, I think right now I'm kind of wanting it to be front and center here. I mean, I love her artwork, so I kind of want it front and center here. And I'm thinking the nopalito, just like somewhere random or in my leg or something.
Yeah, the nopalito.
But I like that one, right?
It's a good choice. I mean, all of our artwork is really good. That's gonna be a good choice. So we're gonna have $31 tattoos. There's just a few of those. Obviously, those are just to get people through the door. And then after that, we'll have some. Let's see, we got some of these. These are cool. The one in the middle, right? This one?
Yeah, that nopalito. Yes. Because here's my thing is I'm a huge Barb's fan. Like, she has these sacred hearts that she does. That's kind of her staple. And it's basically the heart, but it's like nopal. So it's like both together, right? And I saw the 2 separate ones and I was like, wait, because I've been wanting kind of a lotus, kind of a heart, kind of a nopal. And when I saw those 2 things separately, I was like, I want both.
Very Mexican, very demure.
Very demure. Look, it's a lotus on top. Come on, Buddha.
Very Mexican.
Very spiritual. Very demure.
Very spiritual. Very Chicano.
Yes, sir. So I'm excited to get inked up. It's so weird how I go from like, oh no, not right now, to like, give me all the tattoos.
All right. Speaking of Flash, here's some of Paola's stuff. She's got some really cool. She's got the Tuki Tuki.
I like the piñata.
Jack, the Grinch, the Gingerbread Man.
You know what? The Cantarito's really looking cute.
Yeah. The Snoopy. I like that one as well. And then the other one of Barb's is this one with the this is more like tratty stuff.
Yeah.
Halloween-y. The heart. Yeah.
If I could get multiple, that would be awesome. But just gonna do the 2. I'm gonna chill out and I'll wait for the next round, I guess.
Listen, there's always another tattoo happening when your friend owns a tattoo shop.
Exactly.
So,
I have plenty of real estate on my body left.
look, I mean, I haven't gotten a tattoo like in. Oh, actually, I haven't gotten a tattoo since before my accident. So I've been itching for some scritching.
You say that like it's a long time ago, but you were going crazy getting a ton of tattoos before then. So
Yeah, I was getting a lot of tattoos.
As you were.
So these are some of the promos that I've made. Let's see if
Mhm.
they come out. If they show here.
So, how do you think you did on your first Friday the 13th as a tattoo artist?
Good. I mean, we were really busy. It was very hectic. I mean, I was super tired, but we were able to pull through. But I'm ready for next year, though.
You know, there's a Friday the 13th in December this year, right?
Trauma.
The PTSD. I don't want to play too much of this song because
Yeah, we'll get claimed.
Socks, candles, random figures from TV shows you forgot about. This year, give the gift of pay. Starting this Black Friday and up until Christmas Day, you can get 25% off all SoCal gift cards. Good for
so if you don't know what to get somebody for Christmas,
Tattoo?
piercings, cover-ups. Great for everybody in the family: mothers, daughters, sons, brothers, nephews, uncles, they, them, chefs, side pieces, hookups.
Nice.
this is another video.
Hey, how much for a tattoo?
Yeah, sure. What kind? What are you looking for? Size, placement, any references?
Hey, how much for a sleeve?
Depends what style. What are you looking for? Can I see your arm? Let's see the artwork.
How much for this?
Oh, well, what size? Where do you want it?
Why can't you just be upfront about your rates?
How much for this?
$500.
All right, cool. I left the deposit. I'll be there in 20 minutes.
All right, I guess I'll set up for you.
It is like that sometimes with the inbox. Just FYI.
Are you looking
this
for
is the last
your
one.
I was very clear, okay?
Come on by to SoCal Tattoo. We're gonna have specials for $31, $66, $113, and $131. You can't get a better deal than this. We'll also have 31% off piercing. Doors open at 10 a.m. First come, first serve. Don't forget to tip your artist. Cash preferred. We're gonna have giveaways and raffles.
All right.
You're
Yep. I got
SoCal Tattoo Main Street.
SoCal Tattoo Industry. In other local happenings, because I wanted to shout out a couple of local business. Our friend, Harley, and she came through with some pizzas last Friday the 13th. El Jefe Pizzeria. I don't know if you ever had those. They make like the birria pizza and like a bunch of like custom awesome pizzas. They're opening up their new location on Thursday.
Where's the new location?
I should have had this earlier.
My guy is pulling it up. Okay. That sounds yummy.
They just moved to the new location and their new location is
in San Diego somewhere.
In San Diego. Honestly, I think she messaged me the address. Hold on. All right, we'll move on to other stuff. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff happening in San Diego. Friday the 13th. Who's getting tattooed? Who's going that? We want to get into some other happenings in the world, as always. This will be sort of a shorter stream. But we say that and then
we say that, so we need to come on. Let's get it going. Let's go. Let's get into it.
Maximum
20 minutes just talking about ourselves.
All right, so let's get into news. All right, the biggest news of the week is Luigi Mangione.
Luigi. It wasn't him, guys. It was his evil twin, Waluigi.
Waluigi. He is the guy who allegedly shot down the CEO of a healthcare CEO.
Yeah, United
Healthcare CEO.
Mm-hmm.
A company that had in the past used AI to automatically deny claims, and they apparently had like a 90% failure rate in
Jesus.
denying claims, or like 90% of them were incorrectly
Mm-hmm.
denied. I don't know what the number was, but I know it was high.
But their profit was above Apple, so
Billions in profits, because
Mm-hmm.
for some reason, unlike the rest of the civilized world, we do not know how to have single payer healthcare
Mm.
because of
Womp
lobbyists
womp.
and corporation and corporate greed. So this guy, Luigi Mangione, took it upon himself to go to a Starbucks, flirt with a cashier,
Allegedly.
start a fashion trend.
Mm.
Because did you know that the jacket worn by the alleged United Healthcare shooter Luigi Mangione is flying off the shelves and you can't get it?
Really? What is the jacket worn by
Uh,
alleged shooter Luigi Mangione?
It's a green trucker jacket.
Oh,
It's
style.
a Sherpa line hooded jacket from Levi's, which rings in at $225. It's flying off the shelves
Fuck off, Levi's.
because it's the same jacket worn by the shooter.
Wow.
So the book bag is also, you can't get the book bag anywhere.
Stop. I love people sometimes.
So if you want to dress, I mean, I wish this would
I
happen.
think for Halloween, you should be.
I wish this would have happened before Halloween.
Before Halloween.
It would have been so. Now look, we don't condone murder in these parts, but we understand.
Yeah.
But we understand. That's
We
like the
do.
old Chris Rock, like, I would never, ever, ever hate a woman, but I would shake the hell out of one, you know?
Why must you go to that? Oh yeah, sure.
Listen,
sure.
listen,
we all get it, right,
the
guys?
joke was, that he was talking about OJ, and he's like, I wouldn't have killed her, but I understand. So, yeah, and apparently this guy, so the story or the lore goes that he was 26, off of his parents' insurance, had to have back surgery, started Googling and reading a bunch of books about back pain and about health insurance, wrote on the shells the name of a book about insurance claims, which was like deny, defame, something else.
Yeah.
And
Depose was the last one.
Depose, deny, defame. Wrote that on the bullets, and then went ham, murdered him in cold blood, and ran off. Left his bag in Central Park. World's like third biggest army, the NYPD, couldn't find him. And he got turned in by a cashier at McDonald's in Pennsylvania because he needed to have a McRib, which is the most overrated food item of all time.
Wow. Harsh words.
IMO. McRib fucking can eat a bag of dicks.
Never had one, so.
So, yeah, so basically they voted for like 1940s, 1930s Germany's, but we might be getting 1800s French. We might be getting, listen, if they bring out the chippity chopper, I'm all for it. If we're starting to eat the rich, let me know. Because I'll season some fucking, some of that nice marbling that they have on them, and make a nice stew. So what were your thoughts when you heard about Luigi Mangione?
Listen, I couldn't bring myself to, like, it was the comment section were exactly, they all passed the vibe check. It was amazing. I love how listen, we just went through an election that was highly divisive, and everyone was like, I'm not going to talk to you, whatever, right? This is the one thing that united. But united the people. All right, we could all agree, whether you were like, oh, but he has a family, oh, but you shouldn't kill, everyone agreed that this guy is a fucking, maybe not a hero, but everyone could at least like join together in arms in making fun of this guy's death. Okay, because here's the thing, when you're a CEO of a company, yeah, when you're a CEO of a company that kills millions of people every year and profits off of it, like, what, you want me to shed a tear for this one guy when we have normalized gun violence, when to the point that like somebody who gets radicalized can just go to a school, an elementary school, and kill a bunch of children, and then we're not supposed to like not care. We're so desensitized to shootings at this point that we don't give a fuck if it happens at an elementary school. We're that desensitized. Obviously, yes, people care. That's not what I'm saying, that you don't care, but we're so desensitized. It doesn't hit, a shooting now does not hit as hard because we're so fatigued from bad news as it did maybe like decades ago, right? And so to think of that, we've normalized gun sales and profit over children's lives. And now you want me to shed a tear and cry and be heartbroken because one CEO got a taste of their own medicine? Absolutely not. This is beautiful justice. And yeah, eat the rich. And yes, I think this is funny. I do. Do I condone violence? No.
Yes.
But do I also think that this is kind of like the brutal honesty that we need to embrace sometimes? Yes, because I'm sick and tired of these incel men who are radicalized because yes, we're all financially hurting, right? And we're all like, every working class person is hurting under the system. And so being in the end stage capitalism that we are living under, and in not democracy, we're living in a fucking oligarchy, we're all hurting. And so I prefer my radicalized men, if you're going to be killing somebody, don't go kill little kids at a school. Go kill CEOs. Why not? Let's redirect it. Go kill. So when Donald Trump was like, had their shooting attempt, also like we thought that was going to be such a crazy event in history. And what happened? A week later, no one was talking about it.
Nobody was caring.
Nobody cared.
Again. It almost happened again.
It happened again. Exactly. So yeah. So if I'm going to take anything away from this is if you're going to be radicalized and violent, please go attack the rich. Because apparently we all are going to praise and love it. And the Levi's is going to sell out afterwards. You're going to become a hero. And listen, this guy, I don't want to be that bitch that's condoning violence, but I'm just kind of so proud. Because again, if you're going to be violent and radicalized, please at least go do something that's a good cause. And in my opinion, sucks for the family. But you know what? All I can think about is the millions and millions of families that have been hurt because of the CEO.
I killed the CEO
because of United Healthcare. It's not really even the CEO. I mean, the CEO is just the freaking face of it, right? But I'm just like, the whole system is broken and it's terrible. And so this is just a little nugget of like, yeah, we don't get justice. People are dying. People are in debt. Like healthcare debt is the number one financial cause for, what's it called? Financial, I'm blanking.
Bankruptcy.
Ruin. Thank you. Bankruptcy. Oh yeah, ruin too. Both. So it's just annoying that we have a for-profit healthcare system. We should not have that in a freaking civilized country in 2024, almost 2025. So I'm not going to shed a tear for this guy. I'm not heartbroken. I think the comment section is hilarious. And I kind of felt really happy that it was the one thing that brought us all together. And to add to that, and to finalize my whole statement, I think that I do enjoy the conversations that are coming from this situation because we haven't really addressed the problem, the elephant in the room, which is corporate greed and these for-profit corporations just railing against the working class. So I do enjoy that we are able to talk about the situation, and it does suck that it happened at the expense of somebody. But do I care? Not really. No. These are the conversations that need to happen. And I much rather they come about from this perspective as opposed to, again, violence against a shooter shooting up an elementary school full of innocent children that are also in a public school who are kids of the working class. It's not even the private schools or the rich kids that feel it. It's never the rich that feel it. And this is the one little nugget of like, okay, maybe hopefully this can make a difference. Listen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My thoughts are that, I mean, I sort of agree with you for the most part. I thought it was interesting that, again, the corporate overlords, politicians, right-wing media were like, oh, look at the left, and they're laughing at the death of a CEO because now how could you cry about human life, and guns are a problem, and 3D printed guns are a problem. When they're going after rich people, it's a problem. Like you said, when 30 kids get slaughtered in a school, there's nothing we can do about it, even though it's the only country where it happens routinely.
Freedom.
Or a supermarket, or a racist goes to a Walmart and kills Mexicans or black people in upstate New York. That's just par for the course. That's just going to happen because we need freedom. But as soon as, eat the rich, as soon as people are like, oh, wait a minute, you mean instead of putting our energy on killing innocents and each other, you know what I mean? Like what they say, like if people that were gangbanging in New York, LA, Chicago would actually turn, they're so easily killing each other, like your brother or sister, if you would just turn that energy towards killing somebody who's actually in a position of power. And obviously we're not condoning violence, but then it would be a different world, So you could see the change, the light bulb go off. Wait a minute, we can't have these pores all of a sudden realizing how many of them there are. So it was like, major manhunt and all this and the other thing, et cetera, et cetera. And then the NYPD, which is just a humongous. They got like the budget of like 18 fucking nations. They couldn't find him.
It also shows their incompetence because they couldn't even find him. My dude shot him in the morning, bright and early in New York, in Manhattan. Like it's busy.
3 blocks from Rockefeller Center.
Exactly. He got away for how long? And it took a McDonald's employee to call them. How incompetent could you be?
And what about hey, listen, that snitch. Why are you snitching on our boy Luigi Mangione?
Yeah, Luigi Mangione. Also, if they released the name of that person, because I bet you that person is going to be.
That person is
life.
not. They need to.
They're not.
Listen,
to the carne asada.
I'm all for the chippity chop being busted out. Listen, if we can get some French 1700s action here. Line them up, chop some heads off. That would be great. Because fuck that, eat the rich. But and then I also thought it was very interesting that, like I said, that right wing or populist or like rich corporations, corporate interests were trying to make fun of us. But like you said, even when the right wingers or the elite media was trying to say, hey, listen, this is wrong. We can't be talking about proponing or celebrating murder. Both sides were for this because this is something that affects poor people, just Americans. Everybody,
which is now like 90% of the population.
Yeah, even rich people have to pay outrageous copays. They have to pay thousands of dollars a month to keep themselves on allegedly good insurance. And they still have to do gigantic copays, so us poors who have to fucking deal with all this shit. Obviously, every single person that has had an issue where they've had to spend hours on the phone with an insurance company or had to go back and forth to a doctor or back to a primary doctor to get a recommendation, to get something approved that your doctor wants, but your insurance doesn't think you need. And apparently this is what happened. The lore is that he turned 26, got off his parents' insurance, had a back surgery, and ended up having some horrible things happen to him because of insurance. And this wasn't a random killing. This isn't somebody that was angry and decided to go kill kids. This was an angry customer. And this guy who was, yes, he had a family. He was also very rich, and he was being sued or persecuted or something because they sold off some stock that they weren't supposed to without telling anybody. And they also is a company that very famously used AI to deny claims automatically, and they were overwhelmingly getting that wrong. Like Tony Soprano said, this was my favorite meme. And in this house, Luigi Mangione is a hero. End of story. That was my favorite meme.
Yeah.
And then this one, which was Luigi Mangione, the guys from Inglorious Bastards, you know, when they were Italian.
Yeah.
Those were my favorite memes.
My TikTok has been nothing but Luigi Mangione.
Luigi Mangione, it's
Yeah.
anti-Italian discrimination, all that shit. Yeah, so one CEO, and so it was something that Republicans, Democrats, liberals, leftists, all people could sort of agree on, right?
Yeah, because why the fuck do we have a privatized healthcare system? What? We're the only country. Also, there's a YouTube video going around of like other countries that, you know, have public healthcare, reacting and being like, whoa, what's going on in the States? Like, we're just such the odd man out just because we're the only like civilized country we make the most money. Like in GDP, like we make the most money and it all goes to the 1%. So I don't know how we're so poor. I don't know how we have for-profit healthcare system. We're the only one in a developed country that does not have public healthcare. And it's infuriating. And yeah, now CEOs are dying. So thank you, Luigi Mangione. Allegedly.
You should have done that back surgery then. I just kidding. Listen, dude, yeah, it's funny, but when I needed knee surgery, like my doctors were like, your insurance company is giving you a couple of options. They're like, number one, we can cover your knee surgery on one knee because the other knee is not quite fucked up enough that we're not going to cover your surgery. Or the second option is deal with it. They're like, do you really need your right knee that much?
Mm-hmm.
And one of their options on the table was not getting your knee fixed and simply
dealing with
living without a meniscus or an ACL.
Yeah.
And they were like, that's an option. That's an option that the insurance company highlighted.
And it's so wild because that's what you pay insurance for.
And I was like, no, I'm going to go with getting my knee fixed. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's so annoying because that's what you pay insurance for. Like, it's the biggest fucking scam ever. We're paying into something that when it's time to utilize it, they find every which way to deny you. It's just such a scam. They're such like the mobster middleman who are just like, give me your money. And like, it's for nothing. It goes to the trash. It's terrible. Anyway, no, we're not shedding tears over this guy. Okay.
We're not shedding a tear. It's it happened. Listen. And we're not sad. I mean, we don't condone murder.
No.
But then again, we don't.
Yeah, we don't like eat the rich. Anyway, he dead now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, well, that was the other thing that surprised me was that they took him alive, because what I thought was going to happen is there was going to be a manhunt and then he would have been like died in a shootout with cops. But I think the worst thing that happens for CEOs and such is that he is now in custody.
Yeah.
Unless they Jeffrey Epstein himself. I think it's kind of like, okay, now he's a cult hero.
Yeah. And he also released a manifesto today, I believe. I was watching Hasanabi read it.
Yeah, there was only like 3 pages or something.
Yeah, it was
like
pretty short and sweet, but I mean, it is exactly what you would think. It's a working class dude who was hurting financially because of the healthcare system. So we can all agree, like these are fucking villains. You're not mad when a villain gets got in a movie. You're just not.
Yeah, it's definitely a bad guy. It's definitely a bad guy. So, at the end of the day,
bad guy dead.
Bad guy dead. And guy that we can all sort of relate to in jail.
But free my man.
But free my man. Speaking of freeing your man, Joe Biden pardoned his son.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What he said he wasn't going to do, but then he said he felt like it was a politically staged attack. And I knew he was going to do it because power is power. And when you have power, and I know this just from being a boss and being like, even just like, power corrupts in essence, because when you're by yourself in your thoughts and you realize that you can do things because you're in charge of the buttons and stuff like that, it does get to you at a certain point. Whether it's low-level power as an owner or commissioner of a fantasy football league, or whether you're the president of the United States and you're like, all I have to do is sign this paper and I can pardon my son for all his sins. Obviously, it was not a huge thing. It wasn't like 36 felonies. It wasn't, Trump saying he's going to pardon the insurrectionist. It wasn't the pardons that every other president does on this last day in office.
Exactly.
It was his son who incorrectly filled out a gun form or did something, and then he had a laptop where he was hanging dong and smoked a lot of crack with hookers.
Yeah.
Haven't we all?
What billionaire hasn't?
And then he ends up pardoning him. And honestly, and this is again the difference between the Republicans and the Democrats, is the Democrats have to act outrage because they want to hold on to the moral high ground so much. They feel I say this a million times, but they feel as long as they can sort of hold that moral high ground that they're in the right. And so they were like, oh, I don't know who this president is. And anybody who doesn't, any politician who doesn't immediately condone this within 24 hours, don't vote for them or don't support them. And look, it's a week, 2 weeks later, nobody cares. I mean, the Republicans memed about it for a little bit, and I always love when they switch sides because they're essentially the same. When they switch sides on the topic, so all of a sudden, the Democrats find themselves having to defend, a pardon, and the Republicans get to act outraged because a crime was committed. So, how did you feel did you think it was going to happen? How did you feel when you found out about Hunter?
I mean, not surprised just because Trump is coming into the White House. I think maybe it would have been different if like a Democrat would have came in, but at the end of the day, if Trump is going to be in charge of your son, you're going to pardon his ass. You know what I mean? No matter what you have said in the past. Also, who gives a fuck? I'm sorry. I'm sick and tired of caring about this because Trump, he's talking about pardoning insurrectionists. Trump has put a bunch of criminals in the White House. Trump has he's a fucking rapist. He's convicted of so many felonies. He's a scam artist. He's done so many illegal things that if he gets to roll his eyes and get on a high horse because fucking Biden pardoned his son who didn't even do that fucking much, is just kind of a dumbass. Yeah, whose son isn't? It's just one of those it just feels very hypocritical if Trump is going to care about this, or any Republican for that matter. Do I care? Not really, but only because I'm jaded. We should all care to a certain extent, only because he is utilizing his power. And to some extent, that is telling me that he has the ability to use his power, and instead of pardoning somebody that that could be helpful to society, he's choosing to pardon his son and do dumb things with it. You know what I mean? I know that he also pardoned some people that were locked up for recreational weed use and stuff like that. So he's also doing some good things. I don't want that to go unnoticed as well. However, it just pisses me off when Democrats, because Democrats don't ever do shit, right? Republicans have the power and they wield it to do evil shit. Democrats have the power. They don't have the power. Exactly. Democrats have the power and they never wield it to do any good. Maybe a little bit here and there, but they don't wield it. So when I see them wielding it and it's want bipartisanship, it's just
they're like, we could do this on our own. We could fix immigration, but we really want this bipartisanship.
Why? When you can do it, and guess what? The Republicans aren't asking for your permission. Just fucking do it. Just fucking do it. Like student loan forgiveness. What the fuck? Just fucking do it. Just fucking do it. Yeah. So anyway, it does. That's the only thing that I care about, because I'm like, at my core, do I care that he pardoned his son? No, it's fucking fine. Okay, it's the least of the corruption. It's the least of my worries. Any parent would do it. Any parent would do it. He didn't do that much shit. Like, out of all the corruption that happens in the world, that's probably it doesn't bother me.
No, that's like
However,
corruption. It's
that if I'm gonna say that something bothers me, it's the fact that I'm like, dude, the one time you guys wield your fucking power is to do something useless. Like, fucking house the homeless, come down at the corruption of fucking United Healthcare. Go do something good with your power. It's just so useless to me. Republicans just shut the fuck up.
They will lie to you and then do whatever the fuck they want. For example, Republicans, Trump continuously said he didn't know anything about Project 2025. And then they immediately appointed several members and people who wrote Project 2025 to their cabinet. And they also said very specifically, we will not raise the retirement age by 1 year or 1 day. We will not touch 1 cent of Social Security. And they immediately floated the idea of raising the retirement age and cutting Social Security. So
I'm gonna be so mad if they touch my Social Security, bruh.
Or you have to work till you're 70.
Exactly. Oh my god, I'm gonna be so mad. And then they just replaced Lena Khan. And Lena Khan has done some really good shit for the working class, and it's just so annoying. I need to actually keep tabs on all the shit that's going to happen in this presidency, because apparently people forget, and then people vote for Trump, and then they're like, "But he was pretty good the first time." No, motherfucker, he did a lot of other shit that was bad. I'm just sorry that I can't be the one listing it off all the time. But okay, let's write down one of the first things: him taking out Lena Khan. I immediately hate him. What the fuck? I love that woman. Anyway, I'm very pissed.
Yeah. So basically, they're going to cut Social Security. They're going to raise the retirement age. No, you're right. And the other part of that is that not only are going to do the things that they specifically said they were going to do, and even the things they lied about doing, but they will also now take credit for a lot of the things that the previous administration did, because the economy is starting to get better, and now Trump will jump into the White House and see, it's because of me.
Yeah, and they don't get it that's the thing. You inherit the previous freaking the economy.
It takes a while to fucking turn around the giant economy.
But people are so dumb. They're so dumb.
But I think they added this, but I think that was funny is that they at the beginning there was not one black person on the initial 20 cabinet positions. I think they added a couple since then, but that shouldn't surprise anybody.
Yeah.
Let's see what else is happening in the world here.
Let's get out of politics.
Let's get out of politics. You want to get out of politics? All right, let me.
Why did you have 5 stories?
No. There's just so much shit. Essentially, what could go wrong? Trump is picking billionaires and loyalists to important positions like FBI, CIA, Treasury. Elon Musk is going to be Department of Government Oversight. Elon Musk is in charge, Elon Musk, who owns SpaceX, wants to cut NASA. Who would have thought that somebody that owns a space agency for space exploration would want to cut the budget of the government-run space exploration agency, NASA?
Oh my God.
And say, no, it's better if we privatize it and we let me run everything. Vivek, who is the other guy that's helping, interesting timing, isn't it? But here's the story. Interesting timing, isn't it? Musk's Department of Government Efficiency rolls out a plan, and suddenly NASA's future is on the chopping block, right as SpaceX stands to gain. This isn't about efficiency. It's about funneling public resources into private pockets.
That's the issue.
I have to agree.
Yeah.
The other one, which I thought was Vivek Ramaswamy, considers rolling back. So basically, in a fuck you to Elon Musk, Biden issued, I think, a $6 billion loan, $6.6 billion loan to Rivian, who is a direct rival of Musk's company. They're also doing electric cars. and they're getting a loan from the Department of Energy. And now, as part of the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, which is a meme agency named after a meme coin, they're considering doing a rollback of that $6 billion loan, which, surprise, surprise, would benefit Elon Musk.
Oh, I hate it here. I hate this. I hate this. I'm either going to jump off a bridge or murder CEOs.
Let's listen.
I said sarcastically.
You're gonna, I mean, aim for a CEO. Aim for a CEO.
Yeah.
Aim for a CEO. Is all I'm gonna say. Here's the story that I was looking for earlier. Friend of the show and a friend of mine from karaoke who brought us pizza last Friday the 13th, Harley, who we still owe tattoos. She works for the Pizzeria El Jefe. They make really good pizzas. Ooh. Oh my God. They have a birria pizza that is delish. They also have like a Mexican pizza with like chorizo and beans. And they have a puerco pablito pizza. They have fucking even regular pizzas. It's all really good. So they were on 1655 Broadway in Chula Vista, and now they're moving to a grand opening of a new location at 560 Broadway. So they're just going to be right up the street. Their opening day is tomorrow, and they're going to have 20% off all pizzas across the board. So go check out our friends at Pizzeria El Jefe in Chula Vista.
Yeah.
Have the birria pizza. It's breathtaking.
Breathtaking, you say? Wow.
It's really
that's
good.
High praise.
Their birria pizza is really, really good. All their pizzas are really good. All right. Yeah. But are there any government agencies you would delete?
What do you mean?
I mean, ICE, maybe.
Oh, yeah. ICE can go. That's the first one.
Number one. First.
Number one. What do they even do?
Oh!
Misery. Yeah, yeah. How much do you know about the Eugenio Derbez commentary?
I have heard rumors about it. I'll play it right now. I have it pulled up, and then we can discuss it. How about that?
Okay.
Mucho la atención. La actuación de Selena Gómez.
Es indefendible la actuación de Selena Gómez. Yo creo que hay muchas cosas de las que yo puedo defender la película. Incluso soy Saldaña porque creo que a pesar de que habla así como da raro, dices al final me convenciste.
Sí, y hay una parte donde dice, bueno, yo soy de República Dominicana y no.
Sí,
y
eso justifica.
Te lo justifico.
Sí.
Selena es indefendible. O sea, yo estaba ahí con gente que nos volteamos a ver cada vez que viene una escena, nos volteamos a ver como decir, wow, ¿qué es esto?
Dije, no sé por la gente se está... No podía creer cuando canta. Volteé a ver a la persona con la que la vi en el Festival de Morelia y le dije, no puedo creer cómo la gente no se está riendo. Porque te voy a decir que creo que lo que pasa con Selena Gómez, a pesar de que tiene muchos fans y ya sabemos que la van a defender, que bueno que sean fans de Selena Gómez, es una actriz muy talentosa, tiene una nominación, un Emmy por Only Murders in the Building, o sea, es una buena actriz, una muy buena cantante, pero el español no es su idioma principal, ni secundario, ni quinto.
Habla español,
no habla español, y por eso yo siento que no sabe lo que está diciendo, y al no saber lo que está diciendo no puede haber matices en su interpretación. Entonces lo que tiene que hacer es radicalizarlo y o llorar extremo o estar muy enojada. No hay puntos medios. Y por eso su actuación no solo es no convincente, sino que es incómoda. Y los números musicales, que yo no sé por qué aceptó a cantar eso.
Sí. Give me five. O sea, de verdad, qué bueno que lo dices, porque yo decía, no puedo creer que nadie esté hablando de eso. No puedo creer que nadie...
Porque les da miedo hablar de Selena Gómez.
Sí. Y ¿sabes qué además? Siento que, por ejemplo, en Cannes, que le dieron un premio, y en Estados Unidos, que nadie ha hablado de eso y que le siguen dando premios, siento que lo que pasa es que no hablan español. ¿Y qué pasa? Si tú ves una película rusa o una película alemana que está subtitulada al español y ves a alguien que dice tú dices, mira, okay,
interesante.
Qué interesante. Pero no se están dando cuenta que está diciendo, hola, ¿cómo está? Qué bueno que viniste a mi casa, te quiero mucho. ¿Me explico?
Claro.
Entonces yo creo que tiene mucho que ver con que está subtitulada y no habla en español. Pero sí es... Y luego me tocó a mí de estar en una función en donde estaba el director con los actores y
You went
un
twice?
Q&A al final, un preguntas y
Oh,
respuestas.
no.
Y entonces, al final me di cuenta que el director, que es un director francés,
Es francés, güey.
no habla ni español
Ni inglés.
ni inglés.
No.
It's bad.
Entonces,
It's so bad.
como que se me hizo un experimento muy interesante porque justamente dije, qué curioso que un director, porque la primera vez que la vi, o sea, me gustó la película, quitando lo de Selena, que sí, te brinca mucho, pero tiene cosas muy rescatables, pero
You
sí
like
yo...
the movie?
Es raro porque si el director no hable inglés y español y la película es en español
Y en inglés.
y aparte sucede en México y no conoces la cultura, fue como si yo quisiera hacer ahorita una película en ruso.
All right. So, do you feel that this is justified hatred?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And I know I'm getting canceled and I'll never work in Hollywood because
You
of
got a
this.
government job now, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. So I'm giving up my life as an actress for this, my career as a filmmaker. But he's 100% correct. 100%. And I think they said it as respectfully as possible. And I think all of the critiques are very valid. Yes. I do. What did you think of because you haven't watched it?
I haven't seen the movie.
So you were coming in fully blind.
So I will evaluate, and I'll give you more next time. I'll give you more direct thoughts on the film and if it affected me. So immediately I think of two things.
Mm-hmm.
I think of Narcos season 1.
Okay.
And The Bicycle Thief. So my main criticism of Narcos season 1 is the actor they got to play Pablo Escobar was Brazilian, and he learned the dialogue phonetically. So he spoke Portuguese, spoke Spanish, but didn't speak Spanish very well. And more specifically, he couldn't pull off a Paisa Medellin accent. By contrast, for example, the actor that played his hitman Popeye, or a lot of the other hitmen or people that were local to Medellin, they were actual La Maria Pues, they had that
Maria
Yo pues ole, they had that really Medellin natural accent.
Ma parce que la haré.
So he did not have that, and his dialogue was very bueno parce pues, and he had like a. So did that take me out of the story at times? Yes. Did that ruin the entire show for me? No, because eventually I would sort of forget about it, and you would be more enthralled by the action and his acting, except for his dialogue. But that does take you out of the moment. Doesn't allow you to suspend disbelief as much, right? So I will say that I have the other part is as a director myself. When I wrote my first movie that I wanted to be fully in Spanish, El Ladrón de Bicicletas, I wanted Dominic to play the lead character because physically, emotionally, because of the physical acting that was necessary and the look that I wanted and how I pictured the character, I wanted him to play the character. But he could not speak a word of Spanish. And I tried very, very hard to get him to be able to deliver. Basically, I chopped that character's dialogue. I cut about 75% of that character's dialogue because I wanted him to be the actor.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like I had a plethora of like native Spanish speaking actors to choose from. I could have gotten John, who's marginally better at Spanish. I could have recast. I could have taken my time with it. I could have done something else. But in my heart, in my mind as a filmmaker, as an artistic choice, he was my Enzo.
Mm-hmm.
He was my Enzo, and I had to sort of jerry rig it so that I could do it by minimizing his dialogue. And a lot of his dialogue was the poems, and eventually I was able to get his name is evading me, but the actor from Traffic that's friends of ours that ended
to do
up
the voiceover, yeah.
To do the voiceover of the poems as the voice of Enzo. And that really salvaged the movie, in my opinion, because those poems needed to be a natural Latino speaker saying them for it to make any sort of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I've felt this both sides.
Yeah.
As a viewer and as a fan and as a filmmaker making an artistic choice. So I think I can go into it sort of with a neutral thought process about whether or not it affects me. So I'll give you my thoughts on it.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I sit with it. Let's see. Go ahead.
What? No, what were you saying?
I just saw this thing here where it says she.
Well, I was. Oh, so she commented, and she. Well, that one's. I don't know why it's translated in Spanish. She said it in English.
Entiendo dónde vienes. Lamento haber hecho lo mejor que pude con el tiempo que me dieron. No quito la cantidad de trabajo y corazón que puse en esta película. All right.
Mm-hmm. So, when I thought about it, because I do always think to Ladrón de Bicicletas, I also think of Gus Fring from
yes, Vince did this a lot in Breaking Bad, where he wanted actors that we wanted, and Tío Salamanca also couldn't speak a word of Spanish, and they forced it.
Now here's my thing. I'm realizing this about myself. I am very against forcing a language, because in my opinion, if you can't speak, like, acting is hard. It's not an easy task. And you need to understand the dialogue in order to layer it with the emotional, whatever it is that you want to give it, with the emotional life that you want to give it, right? So when you cast Dominic, I was fully against it. You said I could train him. I didn't think so. And it's not because I don't believe in his capabilities. It's just someone like John would have done it better.
Well, yeah, because I've seen him act and he's not that much better.
It's just the language. It's just you're adding one more layer of negativity. Like you're adding one more layer that doesn't have to be there, because there's plenty of Spanish speakers that are fluent Spanish speakers. And then you can work on the other stuff. You can scruff them up. That's the stuff that's like easily doable. You can make them gain weight.
I disagree.
Like looks.
I disagree.
But but here's the thing, you had to there's something you did have to salvage by doing the voiceover in the poem, because it's very it was unintelligible. Like I think that language is one of those things that, yes, it takes you out, and you have to like bargain where you're gonna lose certain quality.
I agree there. I think the juice worth the squeeze scenario is in play, but But if I would have taken the time to recast, because I think John would have been better at one of the aspects that I wanted. One of the aspects, right? Let's say there's five aspects to Enzo: his drug use, his physical actions, his laugh, his look, his movement, right? Whatever it is, and the voice is one of them. I think that I would have gotten a plus in the voice, but I would have gotten negatives on the other four. So who's to say that just an actor saying the words correctly that can't act for shit, it would have been better?
But why are you giving he can't act? Like, you're assuming, like, my thing is, out of
I know
those
who the
things,
actor is, Sophia.
Yeah.
Dominic is a much better actor than John, like 30 times better. I love John. He's one of my best friends, but he's 30 times as good an actor.
I'm not going to talk about people's acting capabilities. Lou, chill. I'm not going to talk about anyone's acting capabilities. No, I know.
If an actor is 30 times better than another actor at acting, then just because he can say the lines better, you're not going to tell me that it's a better choice.
It's cringe. I'm sorry. Like, here's the thing. As a viewer, It's very cringe to watch somebody who does not speak a lick of the language
I could have
attempting
said
at
the lines
saying
that
work.
Pablo Escobar said in Narco season 1 much better than the actor. It wouldn't have been a better season.
Right. But there's people that can do training, or there's people that could take classes. There's people like, I'm not saying it's impossible. It's not an impossibility. Selena Gomez could have, I'm sure, taken months and learned Spanish. I'm sure she could have really like gotten, done the work and done a great job. However, that's not the result that we got. What we got was a very choppy, bad dialogue, like terrible performance. I'm sorry. It was just a terrible performance. And the way that you do have to watch it. And in the video where they mention Zoe Saldana's performance is also a little choppy or whatever, I was even kind of taken aback of that because I didn't know she was supposed to play Mexican, and her accent was very Dominican. It was not Mexican at all. So I was like, that's weird. Mid-movie, they dropped that line of like, oh, I was born in the Dominican Republic. And I was like, okay, all right. I can't, the suspense of disbelief. I'm like, all right, cool. That's cool. And then with Selena, they try to do that. They try to say, oh, I'm from the States. And she speaks a little English. And then she goes back to Spanish. And it's, I shit you not, it is so cringe. It is the most cringe thing because, in my opinion, when you don't know the language, you cannot add the emotional layers. You just cannot. Her delivery is robotic. Is Breaking Bad cringe? Gus Fring, when he talks Spanish, yes. Absolutely.
But does that make Breaking Bad not one of the best 5 TV shows of all time?
No, because
does that make Better Call Saul not one of the best top 10 shows of all time?
Lou, let me talk. It is because
just answer my question.
Let me talk. It is because Gus Fring speaking Spanish is like 2 sentences out of a monologue.
But I'm saying this so
it's not his character. If it was 100% of his character, yes. The answer is yes. It would make his character trash. But it's not. It's a minute portion.
Pio Salamanca can't lick a word. Can't put 2 sentences together.
But now I feel like you're butthurt now because I brought up the bicicletas thing. But I'm sorry.
No.
I'm
not. Listen. I am 1,000% confident in my decision. There's
good, and I'm 1,000% against it.
There's zero that you could tell me.
That's fine, Lou. But I'm 1,000% against it. It's not something that I agree with. I think it's cringe, and I think the result is cringe. Yeah,
in which I make the decisions. Hey, Latino slant.
Good. But here's the thing.
Derbez giving his opinion. Yeah, absolutely. You're free to give your opinion.
Yeah, of course.
Look. What I'm saying is this.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking Bad. Gustavo Fring, Vince Gilligan. He gives people. Giancarlo Esposito is one of the greatest living actors of all time.
He's amazing. So is Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez is also an amazing actress.
Selena Gomez is not great.
No, come on. No.
She's not one of the greatest living actresses.
She's a really good actress.
She's a good actress. She's not one of the greatest living actresses of all time.
Okay.
Giancarlo Esposito is probably a top 25 actor alive right now.
In your opinion.
And the guy who played Salamanca from Scarface, he's a good character actor. Neither one of them could speak a lick of Spanish.
Yes, and it was cringe.
It was a little cringe, but it is one small detail in a top 5, top 10 TV show of all time.
Right.
And
but how often were they in there, and how much Spanish did they speak? What you're not understanding is her presence in this film and the fact that she only speaks Spanish, and her delivery is like, it's just robotic. Like, she's not giving a good performance. It's just objectively what's happening.
But now you're no longer talking about the language. You're talking about her performance.
Because she doesn't know the language. Yes, it is a direct. So for example, Zoe Saldana does speak Spanish, and yeah, her accent's not perfect. However, at least she's like emoting and able to like do the acting part because she knows the language. She is a good actress. She's a great actress. What are you talking about? Have you not seen The Only Murders in the Building? And then also like Wizards of Waverly. She's been acting her whole life.
Makes sense.
Lou, why are you so against this? Is it because I hit a nerve because I told you that your film? Like, I'm sorry, but it was a bad decision in my opinion.
I love you, but what you think about the decisions I make of a filmmaker mean this much to me.
I know, because you don't care about anybody's opinion. I know. You don't care about anybody's opinion.
I'm grounding the conversation as a filmmaker in the choices that I've made.
Yes.
So as a filmmaker, there was not an easy way for me to find a better actor who I saw in the role So I adjusted so that I could make the movie that I wanted and that I visualized.
Yes.
And
that's your decision.
And if somebody, you or anybody else, cringes at 3 or 4 times in a movie where a line is not delivered perfectly and can't see past that for what the performance is, then that means nothing to me. Because in my mind as a filmmaker, I did what I was supposed to do. Now, if this guy's French,
and that is great,
wanted to cast Selena Gomez.
Seriously, no, he can't. He's not gonna let me.
He wanted to cut. No, but I'm gonna talk, and then she can talk. And if you want me to talk, you can invite me on your show, which you never do anymore, Latino Slant, because you got mad that I called you out on some shit. So all good. So if you're gonna tell me that, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So if he's a French director, he wanted Selena Gomez in his movie, he wanted Zoe Saldana, and that is an artistic choice. So you can't tell me that she both shouldn't be speaking Spanish and she's a bad actor. If she was a good actress, then she could at least emote as much. You're telling me she couldn't emote and it was a flat performance. You're not telling me you're not telling me I'll be there, send the link. You're not telling me that it's only her voice that caused the performance to be bad. You're telling me she couldn't emote and she couldn't act.
It's the lack of comprehension of the language, Lou. I don't think you're understanding that part.
I said if you wanted me to be red meat for your audience, that I would be there because I'm an actual leftist and a centrist.
You're talking to him.
You guys are say you're centrist, but you're actually right-leaning. Anytime.
Thank you.
Anytime, Polly.
Well, we can. I mean, you guys.
I love you. Know that you know. There's nothing.
You can go on there.
But
my thing is you're taking this very personally because now we've called your decisions into question and you're seeing it from the director's point of view. No, I know. But I was the one that told you that it was a very cringe performance. I'm sorry. And the same way that like the voiceover saved it. It's a good movie. But the thing is, do I think it was a cringe performance? Yes, I think the decision to always cast an actor, especially there being so many Latino actors that can speak Spanish, I just think cool, you cast Selena Gomez because she's famous. Got it. Awesome. But you also can't fault the audience for feeling like it was a cringe performance when you're representing a whole people, when you're representing a whole country with a whole culture, and you're a French guy who has like not necessarily any experience. You don't speak Spanish, you don't even speak English. So what? You know, like it's one of those very tone deaf decisions. And now seeing it from a director's perspective, okay, I can see how maybe he was very dead set on that, but you can't blame the audience for thinking that it's very unwatchable because at the end of the day, you're going to make a project that makes you happy. And that's great. Good for him, you know? But do I think it was a terrible film and I think it's a waste of budget? Absolutely. I think that it's very sad that there's so many actors that are Latino that could have done the role. And mind you, they try to justify it by saying she's American. Cool. But even that accent was not like a charming accent, the way that Sofia Vergara does a charming accent, you know, it was not like it was unintelligible. So yeah, Eugenio Derbez has a point. You know, as rough as it is, like it's just sad. It's a sad decision. It's a sad choice, and it's a sad product. But that being said, people are gonna love it. People are gonna hate it. It's fine. It is what it is. I just do think it's sad that in the state of Latinos in Hollywood, that we spend so much money doing some project that's gonna be this cringeworthy, I guess, and this unpopular. When you could be, what is that? Someone said in their speech, like you could be funding 1 million low budget films as opposed to one that's like high budget or whatever. But you know, the French guy, the director, does seem like it was his vision. I thought the musical aspect was cringe as well. Maybe it just wasn't my taste, but I think it was, not gonna lie, like I just think it was a waste of money. And I think that it's can't all fall on Selena. Sadly, she's getting the brunt of it. But it was a lot of things. There was a lot of things. Sadly, she's like the one that's like being, I don't know why, the one that's being talked about on social media. I think it's because Eugenio Derbez called her out, then backtrack and apologize because yes, she's Selena Gomez and she's a huge artist and everyone started dogpiling on him because Lord fucking, you know, Lord forbid that he has an opinion. You know, one of the biggest Mexican actors of all time. Lord forbid that he has an opinion on a Mexican film with Mexican actors. you know, or what they're supposed to be Mexican actors. So I just think it's an unfortunate situation. I personally think the choices were wrong. And I'm sorry if that makes you emotional. No, but you do? You do though?
You don't get to tell somebody how you don't get to tell somebody how to do their art.
But then who does? Everyone gets to be a critic. No, okay. See, now this is where you're.
I'm bringing you on right now, Polly. I said Polly. I'll just say one thing and then we'll bring Polly on, and I'll let him discuss. Right?
You're really butthurt right now. I need you to tone it down and realize that you're seeing things from only your lens.
No, look, I
realize that you're only seeing it from your lens, and it's because you have a direct
I let you speak,
to
Sophia.
it.
Now, can I speak?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, all right. I'll bring Polly on in 2 seconds, but here, let me say this. Here's Polly from the Latino Slant.
Polly's like, there's debate. Let's go.
All right, Polly.
Hi, guys.
I'll save my take. You can go ahead and give us your take.
First of all, let me just say it's great to be here.
Thank you.
Good to have you, man. As always.
Unlike Luis when he last came on saying,
what happened?
You know, your audience, Paul, is conservative. They're this or that. I'm like,
that's not an insult. That's just a fact.
No, dude. No. I know the way you go after people on the right. So shut the fuck up with that. I mean, you know,
I'm a true leftist. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I'm not a cuck of crap.
But what did I tell you? Please don't insult my audience. And you don't know if they're all. You're going toe to toe in the chat with them. Come on. It's all right. It's all right, Luis. It's right.
No, Polly, there's a difference between outright insulting and responding to things.
Right. But also too, Sophia, I offered this guy some paid work and he ghosted me a couple of times. So I don't know what the fuck.
I almost died, Polly. You realize
I know. And then I said, please get a hold of me. You're like, I'm gonna get a hold of you. Nada, cabron.
If you watch the beginning of the show, I am now 3 months post accident, finally starting to feel like myself. Like I'm gonna send you the video so you can actually see what happened to me. But listen, Polly, I almost literally died.
Listen, it's all love, man, and I hope
I am 100% down to work on the slant with you, 1,000%. But honestly, at the time that we started talking about it, a lot of shit just went downhill for me in a minute.
Listen, we don't gotta go there. Again, I'm glad you're healing, and I'm glad to see you up on this thing. And always, Sophia, come on.
Always a joy to see you. Also, you look great. Did you shave?
Yeah, I did.
Hey,
I turned 54 this year, so I'm like, man, I gotta
looking youthful.
Yeah. I'm going live though in about 5 minutes. So if you guys,
oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, give us your take real quick, and then we'll I don't know. I know Sophia can, but I'll definitely shoot me the link. I'll jump on with you.
Yeah, because we're talking about a whole bunch of different topics. So it'd be fun for you to come on, Luis. That'd be fun.
I got you.
So what are we talking about?
Well, the whole Eugenio Derbez and Selena thing. You said you wanted to comment on it.
Listen, I actually, I actually did see the movie. I actually agreed. It's just with Sophia too. It was just not a good performance. I actually don't like the film. I have a lot of problems with the film in general. I think the trans actress, I think she was the best thing in the film.
Yes, thank you. She was amazing. Everyone else, no, sorry.
Well, I mean, she had because the director, had some real moments that allowed for this actress to just do some great quiet moments with that other lady. But, so that's one thing, but I'm not Eugenio Derbez. I'm not another producer, writer, director, actor in the business. I think what he did was completely uncalled for. He knows the game. He knows Selena. I mean, a month ago, he was on a red carpet, all like this with Selena at the red carpet for Mile Perez saying, this is the greatest movie ever. I mean, that is garbage what he did on that podcast. So and you guys run a film festival. Dude, it's gotta be about Latino unity in Hollywood. It has to be. If you got problems, and if you're again, this is Eugenio Derbez. This is not like Polly the Latino Slant, criticizing.
Mm-hmm.
You create such a riff that it's just it was completely unprofessional, and it was very much from his ego. It was all about envy, man. And
I think so.
listen, everyone's got an opinion nowadays, right?
Yeah.
But does that mean he needs to air it there? And then you talk about optics. This Mexican man, harping at a Latino woman from the U.S. That don't look good. And
I know he knew it would get him canceled too. Listen, as if I was his PR person, absolutely, I'd be like, why would he do that? It's a hard situation. This is what I was going to end on when I was going through my rant. It's a hard situation for me and decision to make when I'm thinking Latino unity, because at the end of the day, we don't get that many chances. And so part of me does think we need to support each other almost no matter what.
No matter
It
what.
just sucks because, for example, I'm also part of the LGBTQ community.
You don't
Lesbians
say.
do some shit. I know, right? Surprise. Listen, here's the thing. I am opinionated, and everyone is. And I can keep quiet about the dog shit that some lesbians put out, right? Or I can voice it. And like the L word, for example, we all laugh about it. We love it. It's our Bible, but we also think it's shit. It is. And so the LGBT community, thankfully, has been making strides, and we've been making better content because we have higher standards, I believe. And I kind of want the Latino community to find a middle ground where we hold higher standards and we can do stuff that we're proud of. But also, yes, I agree. Maybe not trash talking, not dogpiling. I don't know where the line is. I want to support everyone, but I also want to be realistic and be able to critique where it's deserving.
On the slant, it's like we celebrate and spotlight Latino achievement, but we don't give you the pass. If it's I criticize Emilia Perez. I had a lot of problems with that film.
Yeah.
But in his example, Luis, was it necessary? Was it kind? And was it true? It was true.
True. Yeah.
It wasn't necessary, and it wasn't kind. It was condescending. And if you turn the tables around, if Selena Gomez went on an English podcast here in the States and started talking shit about Eugenio's accent on the valet or whatever it was, come on, man. We don't do that. We don't do that. We cannot afford to do that. He's opening up. Look at all the doors that she's opening up with her career and she's producing more films. Only Murders. She got Eva Longoria on it. She's getting different, do you know what I'm saying? It's like,
100%.
I don't think. Listen, I gotta go though. But
yeah, that's good. Well, I'll give you my thoughts on the other thing. Yeah, my thought was just defending the process of being artistic and the director making the choices, and I'm gonna stand besides that as a director every single time.
Well, see that. I mean, I appreciate that. You're a director. You've chosen to publicly speak out about that. And I respect that.
I sat through Megalopolis, so
all right. I gotta go. You guys are welcome to come on.
Shoot us the link.
I'll send you right now. Sophia, are you on X anymore?
No, I deleted it officially. I'm sorry. I know.
So
it's okay though. I gotta an email.
I can copy the link if you send it to me.
Okay, do that.
Send it to her.
Alrighty.
Love you guys.
Thanks, Polly. I love you.
Okay.
Polly. Bye. The Latino slants.
I think he did a great job at pointing.
He's like in the middle.
The Latino unity.
He was a centrist. He is a centrist.
Yeah. He was a centrist in the sense that, like, he's totally correct. Was it kind? No. Was it true? Yeah, absolutely. I tend to gravitate towards when things are true. I agree.
My only issue.
I don't like the dogpiling that's happening online, though.
Yeah, I will have more concrete thoughts after I watch the film. But I feel
like now you're going to be biased watching it, though.
No, I'm not.
No? Okay.
No. I have a big brain that can compartmentalize. What is
compartmentalize? Yeah.
Compartmentalize. See, we've talked about this a million times, which is, should only gay actors have to play gay roles? Should quadriplegic actors be the only ones that get to play quadriplegic parts? Should anybody play a little person in movies? Because in the fact that only, white males used to be able to play any part before, right? That's the whole thing of the slippery slope of should only this person. I think that for me, using the 3 examples that we talked about, Narcos, Breaking Bad universe, and a small indie film that I wanted to make that was a movie from my heart that was based on a true story. That I, as a filmmaker, will not allow you, who was one of my best friends, who I love, tell me that I made the wrong choice with my film. It just will not enter into my brain.
I know.
Now,
trust me, I tried.
Now, when I'm making the film, just like Vincent Gilligan must have thought when he was casting Giancarlo Esposito for Breaking Bad, this guy's Chilean. Gustavo can't fucking speak Spanish. But I want Giancarlo Esposito in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
This guy's Brazilian. He shouldn't really be playing Pablo Escobar. But he fucking looks like Pablo Escobar. In my brain, in my mind, he is Pablo Escobar. He's going to look and feel like Pablo Escobar. When I cast Stephanie in Slapworthy, there were much more talented actresses that could have played Sally. Much better actresses that could have played Sally. But Stephanie was Sally in my brain when I saw her.
Because of, she fit the mold. Yes.
Right. And Dominic was Enzo in my mind. He was who I wanted to work with physically, the physical acting that I wanted. My other options were a 10th as good as an actor. They could have said the lines a little bit better, but they were 10th as good as an actor. And I could have spent another month or so looking for another actor, but that movie might have not gotten made. And Vince Gilligan could have tried to cast somebody else as Gustavo Fring, but Gustavo Fring wouldn't have been the character that it was without it being Giancarlo Esposito. And Narcos season 1 might not have been the show that it was without that. So I, not seeing the movie, will always defend a director, a filmmaker, making their art however they want to, and making those choices based on that. So that's where I'm coming.
And listen, I completely agree with that. I think that whoever is gonna be in charge of the project, that's your baby. Make the choices you will make. I think the only thing I'm defending is the right for other people. Once you death of the author, right? Once you put it out there, people can critique, right? Where I disagree, and this is where you and I will never agree when it comes to casting choices, because I completely agree. And when you have a vision, you're going to follow it. That's totally fine. And is the juice worth the squeeze? We have different give or takes there. Where I think, when you said does a paraplegic have to play a paraplegic, or all of that? I think that there's a different line. We're talking about, can Selena Gomez, an American, play a Mexican? Of course. Zoe Saldana, can she play a Mexican? Of course. Sofia Vergara, can she, stuff like that? Sure. But now we're talking to ability. If I'm going to cast for a basketball player, they need to play basketball. If I'm going to cast for a soccer player, they need to do that. If it's something that a stunt double can't really do feasibly, they need to be able to have that ability. It's difference between looks and ability, or like a concept that could be switched, and ability. And my thing is, I think that's where my brain kind of like dislikes when people get cast when they don't have the ability. And you can train for a lot of ability. Sure, you can become a dancer. You can train for a lot of these things. She could have learned Spanish fluently. A lot of these things you could train for. However, you do need to train. And when there's a lack of training, it shows. And that's my only thing, is the ability in this case was the fluency of a language, or at the very least a bare understanding, because she could have had an accent. So that's totally fine. It's just a bare minimum understanding. And in her performance, it clearly lacks. And when you're telling me that there's a billion actresses that have that ability. That's just like a little mild stepping stone to do greater things, to do an awesome thing with this performance. She had a musical number, and it was not palatable, in my opinion. But had it been done, and Gloria Trevi would never do this. She's too old for the role. Right. However, if a different performer, maybe they would have done a casting worldwide. Okay. Someone who had the ability was able to do that performance like Gloria Trevi or something like that. Like, it could have been so good. So many things could have been so good. So it's just the ability for me.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Do you think that John Leguizamo would have been able to play Gustavo Fring?
I don't know. Here's the thing. Gustavo Fring was there for a lot of seasons. And I feel like he went through a lot of, his character development. And the Spanish speaking was just such a small part, man. I think it would have been
fluent Spanish speaker.
Here's the thing: we don't know the things.
Played a Chilean.
Yeah. So here's the thing: we can't miss the things that we never had. So if Gus Fring never existed, right?
Right.
I think so. It would have been a different iteration, and I might have loved him less. But yeah, it just would have been a different character. Listen, the story's there. I'm sorry, where there's good writing, there's good writing. The story's there, the character's there. I do love his performance. I am very attached to it, minus the Spanish speaking. I think that's trash and not palatable. But I'm very attached to his performance. He's a great actor.
What I think, the thing that I think is where I'm like, the meeting point is, I think that you can still give a good performance if you don't have the language down all the way, as proven in those two instances.
Yeah.
And
I disagree.
I think you're picking nits, because if there's the only thing you can say about Narcos season 1 is, but the Pablo Escobar accent wasn't right. The only thing you can say about Breaking Bad is Gustavo Fring's but later on in Better Call Saul, like when they cast the part of Lalo, it was a very well-known Mexican actor, and his Spanish was perfect. And it was very clear night and day that this actor was both a great actor and had the voice for it. So he was more natural. So I think that if you're telling me that it's going from a 99 to a 97 because the person's accent wasn't that bad, as a filmmaker, as a creative, I'm okay with that. Because again, taking it back to my own experience, I visualized the movie with John as the lead.
And you're like, is that something that I can give up that 2%?
It wasn't because I was going to get the 2% here with the with the voice, but I was going to lose in a lot of other areas that I was not comfortable with. And in the end, I wasn't like, I wasn't so blinded by my own art that I was like, I'm going to force this. I was like, he has an inner voice. And if I can do the poems as the inner voice, then I can get away with the rest of it, because the biggest parts of the dialogue are the inner voice.
And that's the thing. You got away with it. You were able to fiddle your way. Like, how can I make this work and palatable? And it was good. It was palatable. Yeah. The thing is, when that doesn't happen, right? Because with Gus Fring, his Spanish speaking is very little. It's like how many episodes and how many sentences, as opposed to the entirety of his character, how many seasons. So no, it's not even like what it doesn't make his 100%, 10 out of 10 performance. It doesn't even make it a 9.9. Like, it's so minute, right? So no, but if you watch Emilia Perez, it's 100% of her.
And to that, I say then Selena's not that good of an actress then.
No, here's the thing. I mean, this is where we're gonna disagree, because I love Selena Gomez. She's a great actress. She really is. I'm sorry. I just do think so. So I don't think it was that. I think that it is sadly a lack of ability. And that's it. I think that maybe if they would have cast someone who understood the language, and they could have acted a good American accent, that would have been a lot better.
Listen, it's a good conversation.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is what I live for.
I think this is I don't
It's a good topic is also just in Latinidad because like how many times it brings me back to the conversation that where the Yo no Sabo kids like were getting bullied and kind of like talking about, well, Spanish isn't even the language of Mexico. You need to know Nahuatl, and all of that and like native language. And then that's a whole nother conversation. But it's all related.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I think the main thing is I'm going to defend an artistic creation. I'm gonna defend director's choices, and I gave examples and I gave my own example, and I think I'll try to watch the film with an open mind, because I am curious to see what all the hubbub is about, because I've heard people tell me that it was brilliant, and I've heard people tell me that it was horrible. So we'll check in next week.
It's definitely unique. It's unique. And you're an artsy guy from New York, so I can see a world where you like it. I think it was a good concept. I think the execution was not well done for a lot of reasons. Okay. But also, that's just my opinion. Take it or leave it. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. Yeah. The guy did his project, and the I feel bad. I do feel really bad for Selena Gomez getting all the backlash, because now watching the movie, it was not all her fault. Everyone was like Eugenio contra Selena, blah blah blah. It was very like, and she ruined the movie. And I'm watching the movie. I'm like, no, it was equal parts everybody. And
now if the movie,
I have issues with I have issues with the writing. I have issues with the editing. I have issues with the music. I have issues with everything. Selena was just like a small part of the issues, in my opinion. It's not my project to, it just wasn't my cup of tea, I guess.
All right, we'll touch base on that again at a different time.
Are you gonna watch it?
Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll definitely watch it. I mean, I can't talk. I can't. I might keep the same energy, or I might not. But I'll stand up for directors and their artistic choices whenever I can.
I know you will, buddy. I know.
Yeah, why not? It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's not that serious,
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I was able to salvage and make it a whole new thing when I went through my decision making, and I sleep comfortably with the choices that I made. So some people may agree or not disagree or what have you, but you at the end of the day, it's your art. You make those choices, you live with them, and you put it out into the world, and you no longer have control over how people feel about it.
Exactly. And also, like, it's also so hard to make art to begin with, and it takes so much guts to put it out there, that no matter if someone is saying, like, I just went through like how it's not my cup of tea, and I dislike the movie, I dislike performances, all of that. It's so easy to criticize, right? So I do want to heavily note that it's so much harder to create art and put it out there. So at the end of the day, take the criticisms with a grain of salt. This guy's not losing sleep over his choices. I'm sure it was his freaking like, what is that called when you do your greatest hit? But it's like what is that word? It's like your magnum opus.
Magnum opus.
So I'm sure he's thinking it's his magnum opus, and you know what? Good for him. That's just my opinion. Being a small budget Latina actress is just kind of like, man, how many people who are just dying for an opportunity, and it is what it is.
All right. I wanted to get your take on a couple of things before we go. Yeah. Your girl is coming back to Scream. Courtney Cox is set to return for Scream 7, reprising the role as notorious Gail Weathers. This comes after we already got word that Sydney's coming back after the two Latinas bowed out. So what are your thoughts on Courtney Cox? Is this, because I know you said you were done with it after the whole incident with Las Muchachas.
Yes, I gotta support my Latina girlies, man. And also
does this change anything for you?
Bottom line, no. Because listen, you cannot get me You cannot convince me that you just spent so much time, so much money, so much effort in creating a trilogy that is based on these two Latina leads who are sisters. And we got to the third one and you fired them. So now you're recasting the originals. I love me Scream. I love the OGs. And I'm happy Nev Campbell's getting paid finally. Good for her. Freaking as if she needed it. So am I a little excited? Yes. Am I annoyed that they just completely scrapped a whole trilogy and wasted my time? Sure. As well.
You're going to watch it?
Am I going to pirate it? Yeah, but I'm not going to give them $1. I'm not going to give them a cent.
Right.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. All right. Okay.
I'm being sarcastic. It's a joke. Haha. I'm going to pirate it. What are your thoughts when you heard that?
No thoughts. I think
really?
that I couldn't care less.
Are you going to watch it though?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
I got these.
But you watched the
called
previous
morals,
one.
Sophia.
Wait, what? What?
I got these things called morals, Sophia. When I say I'm
okay,
against
so
something, I'm not. No, I'm still supporting the ladies.
So,
Come on.
okay, so you're sticking by your morals.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Okay. I
Fuck
thought
the
I was like,
franchise.
wait, do you just like not like Scream anymore? I was
fuck
caught
the
up.
franchise. Fuck Amblin Entertainment or whoever the fuck is doing it. Fuck them in their ass and no
pirating.
Vaseline and tell them to go suck a bag of dicks.
Ooh, okay. Tell me how you really feel.
Yeah, just no.
Not even gonna pirate it out of curiosity.
If it comes up on like Max, like 2
Mm.
years from now, I might watch it. But I'm not giving them $1.
Yeah, that's
I'm
how
not
I
giving.
feel.
I'm not giving them $1. I'm not going to. It's not a date movie for me.
That's how I feel. I'm not. When it comes out, I'm not giving them $1. I'm not
Once it's in the
representing it in any
ether,
way.
it's we'll check in. I'm sure for a future episode to see how we feel about it. But I'm not really worried for content. I'll watch it.
Now, follow up to that though, is there anything at this point that they can do to make you change your mind?
No.
Okay. Not even Dewey coming back alive somewhere.
No. Anything that they do at this point is just trying to salvage mistakes that they made because of their own incorrect views on genocide in society. So I've lost respect for the filmmakers and the franchise. And they're making decisions. They're making decisions for the wrong reasons. Correction.
Okay.
If they hired me to direct 8, I would completely turn my view around.
Well, if they hired you to direct
If they hired me to
it,
direct 8 or 9, then I'm back there. But other than that,
yeah, at that point I would watch it.
If you want me to eat my words and
this is when we become right-wing grifters. We'll
go.
sell our soul for
I'm in.
anything.
All right, we have one anonymous way, and then we'll get out of here.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Where's my video? And then we'll jump over. I'm going to try to jump over to Polly's show. Yeah.
Now it's time for
No Names Way.
No Names Way. No Names.
All right, this question comes to us from Scared for a Tween. Recently, my friend from high school has started to post horrible things about women and knowing their place. Example, this is a post they made. Modern women want the authority of a man, the responsibilities of a child, and the perks of being a woman. Teach your daughters how the real world works. It disturbs me because he has a teenage daughter, and I worry that crap he tries to instill in her. Any advice?
So who's doing the posting exactly?
My friend from high school has started to post horrible things about women and knowing their place. For example,
friend from high school.
It disturbs me because he has a teenage daughter.
Male friend from high school has a teenage they're adults
daughter.
and have a teenage, so they're like
in
their 40s.
Yeah, they're in their 40s. Yeah, they're in their 40s. I happen to know who this is.
Oh, I'm over here like, do tell.
Yeah, I got added to a group chat because of a friend from high school has been very clearly red pilled, and so a bunch of concerned friends from high school added me to this group chat where they were very concerned about the tween, and then I said, hey, I'm going to use this for Nonama's ways. And that's literally what the question was when they were starting the thing. So,
okay.
Yeah. So I know a little bit more about it, but just basically with that information, you have a friend from high school, they have a tween daughter, they start putting a bunch of red pill manosphere stuff out in the world. Is there a way that you can deal with it? How do you feel about it in general?
You see, this is gonna sound horrible, maybe. If I'm in my 40s and it's a high school friend, I mean, I guess they didn't mention how close they are. Okay, because I do have friends from elementary and high school that I'm like this with.
Just, I don't think
that's hard.
I don't think we don't live close to each other.
Because if I'm thinking high school acquaintances, as in like we're friends on social media and we talk once in a while, then I'm gonna say it's not your place.
Correct.
I'm sorry. It's just when it comes to parenting, it's just not your place. And then that's like you're going off of a post and it's a hint, and you're not even in their lives. So it's like, why are you inserting yourself in people's lives? Worried for their children. It gives weird. I don't know. Like metiche, like why, you know? Now, if it's like a closer friend, then I would say speak to them. Now if it's now going back to it's an acquaintance and you're not close at all, then call the cops, or like, I don't know, maybe be like, hey, this just like email them from an anonymous source and be like, here's a tip. Keep an eye on this one. Keep an eye on this one. Look what they're posting. They have a child. But then even then you're wasting government resources. So maybe not.
Yeah. Well, this guy, so this is somebody that we know from high school, and they I believe they're a divorced dad. So they're going down the like divorced dad, manosphere, red pill, the divorced dad villain arc, where they're like women want a high value men, but they're not high value, or the whole like, oh, do you want a key that opens every lock, or a lock that gets opened by any key?
Yeah.
Or a 45-year-old woman with experience. If a man could choose a 45-year-old woman with experience versus a 19-year-old with no experience, who do you think he's going to choose? And your value as a woman is your youth and your beauty and your vagina, and this and that and the other thing. And it's just a bunch of like, honestly, just red pill Andrew Tate bullshit. And every time he posts something like that, I'm like, oh, somebody got red pilled. And I'm like, or I'll post like, hey, how's that working out for you, being a red pill divorced dad? And he does not like that. So he'll usually just delete my comments and stuff like that. But I'm just trolling, honestly, because it's not my place to tell anybody how to raise their kids. A lot of people grow up with horrible parents, and that's just the way the world goes.
Yeah.
So there's not really a place to you to basically you keep an eye on it. If you start saying stuff that's super psychotic, you'd like to think that a tween girl growing up in a world right now is going to get enough of a education from other sources in the world where she'll be like, oh, my dad's just a fucking idiot. I doubt that you can, unless it's by force, raise a subservient daughter. And I don't think that at the end of the day, a dad really wants his, like he posts stuff about like, oh, careers aren't important for women, shit like that. And I think he's actually moving to like a third world country so that he can sort of live that lifestyle.
Okay.
So I think he's completing his villain divorce that arc by moving to, an island country that was colonized by the Spaniards,
where he can have like 5 wives,
where he can just, where it's still okay, like, where it's still okay to date 15-year-olds and shit like that,
Oh, Jesus.
So I think that's where his arc is going. I do believe that his arc ends with him being in this other country and having a super young new wife.
Oh no, I hate this. I think
that's where his arc ends.
Does he have access to his daughter though, or is he like no custody?
No, I think it's a shared custody because he posts pictures of taking her to school and hanging out with her. And
because I was also thinking if she's primarily with the mother,
I don't know. Who knows?
We could chill a little. Yeah. I don't know.
Listen,
I feel like,
bottom line, you can keep an eye on it and see and sort of report it to somebody if you want. But honestly, just sort of my thing as another guy is to not stay quiet whenever I hear a guy saying stupid shit. I think we're in the past. As men, we always, when somebody would say something cringe, evil, or sort of that they thought was funny, or that they thought everybody, or when guys will say a bad thought that they think everybody should be thinking this, a lot of times men would just be quiet. And I think nowadays, I think as I give zero fucks, I'm not staying quiet on stuff like that. So I just sort of do my part by trolling and talking shit. But so that's all you really can do.
That's an ally right there.
Thank you.
That's an ally to feminism right there.
I try.
Yeah, I mean, I wish more men were like that. I feel like a lot of people just don't speak up. It's hard to speak up sometimes, you know.
Yeah, speak up. Say it. Just, you know, if you're seeing his post, guess what? She'll see him.
True. And then also, what's the worst that could happen? Like, is this a friendship that you're like worried about losing?
I don't think anybody's trying to salvage a friendship. It's just like, dude, this guy my friend from high school has a teenage daughter, and he's posting all this misogynistic Andrew Tate bullshit.
Yeah. Well, what I mean is like the whole, like you have each other on social media. So even though you don't have like a real friendship, you have like a connection there. So I'm like, if you comment on it, what's the worst that can happen? He blocks you, like, you know, and then he's out of
like,
your life.
honestly, like I have zero fear of that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I love it.
Well, hey, listen, take it with a grain of salt. Do what you got to do. See, like we were supposed to do a short, and then an hour 50 later, we're still here.
Well, we're under 2 hours, so
we're under 2 hours, so I can see if the AI clips generate.
Exactly. Oh man, we did it, sort of. Oh, we say short, and nope, not at all.
No. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys. So speaking of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, I do have a guest lined up for within the next couple of weeks. That is an actor who is at the center of the Breaking Bad universe.
Don't say Gus Fring.
And he is very much related to Gus Fring. And he will be on the show within the next couple of weeks. We're locking that down, but I got a confirmation that they will be on the show. We also have an artist, entrepreneur, artivista coming on next week as well. So we'll get back on a schedule. We'll probably take a week off or so during Christmas and what have you. But Mi Gente Show will be back sporadically.
Yeah. It's the holidays.
It's a holiday, so we'll be back. But more interviews, more news and culture from a Latino perspective. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for bearing with us as Sophia and I argue, which we love to do. We love each other.
We do. We bicker, but we love each other. Mwah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see that. We'll do better next time. We love you. Take it easy. Peace out.
Vamos, papá, hay que irnos. Me estoy aguantando desde que pusieron el domo.
Puedes esperar. Muchas personas trabajaron en esta película y solo quieren que te aprendas sus nombres de memoria.
Y yo quiero asegurarme de que ningún animal resultó lesionado.